I guess to most Kiwis, the home is seriously probably our greatest passion in many respects, you know, besides rugby and the obvious stuff. But I think, you know, you do spend so much time in your home, and so with an architect service, you get it right. You'll get so many advantages in sometimes non-monetary ways that are so good, and it's really common for architects' clients to actually talk to us after the project has been completed and say, I actually really like going home. I like going to my home. Now that's something that's very powerful. Yeah, there's definitely a lot of perceptions about the fact that architects got no idea when it comes to practical stuff, and in fact we have to know a lot about that stuff, and we have to understand how to put things together piece by piece, right down to every nut, bolt and screw. And so I think it's something that needs to be revisited. There's actually a lot of us that are very, very good in that area. I think it's pretty much at the forefront of the way architects think now, whether it's residential, commercial, educational, whatever. It's part of our core thinking. It shouldn't be something we add on. It should be part of a fundamental philosophy. It's really important to get that right. And you know, as one of our famous architects in New Zealand says, it's, you know, half of it is just knowing where north is. I guess one of the other things when you consider environmental architecture, or often called climate responsive architecture, is how it can save energy and running costs for the occupant over the length of the time that they're in a building. It's really important to consider it, not just for tomorrow, but like for your future in the project or the building, but also I think those generations to come, and the fact that if you build a sensible building in terms of the way it uses energy and resources, then you're leaving a great legacy for people to follow on, and your own children and their children, sort of thing, for future generations. One of the other things that's often not considered when you're talking about environmental architecture is how it can impact on the occupant's health and well-being, in terms of just being, you know, warm in winter, cool in summer, natural ventilation. We use low toxicity materials, all those sorts of things. So, and you can't put a dollar value on what it's like to live in a house that's been considered in that way, in terms of just the general health and well-being of the occupants, and that assists in us, I guess, in getting towards that idea of, you know, uplifting people's spirit, making them feel really good. It's like, why do you like coming home? Why do you like this building? It's because it works really well, and it feels like a place you want to be. I think there are a lot of misperceptions about how much architects charge and how much, you know, an architect's service is going to cost you. And I think you need to bear in mind the fact that there's a number of levels of service that we offer. You know, we've got a huge range of skills, and it's a question of making sure that when you are comparing things purely on a fee basis, that you compare the amount of work that any particular person is doing. And so it's no good comparing apples with pears. We all know that. So it's just, I think it's important to remember that. The projects that are always the best are when the client, the builder and the architect collaborate well together. So it's not that thing of them and us, it's that we're all part of the same team, and that's really important to remember. That's something that we bring to the project, on all the projects we do. There's no question it's actually a very powerful thing actually to have a client who challenges you in some ways, but needs to trust you in terms of the amount of skill and passion that we bring to a project. And that extends obviously to our mates, I like to think, the builders who we collaborate with. And when you get a project that's had a challenge plus teamwork and collaboration from all three parties, there's no question about this. It's so much more powerful, and it's something that we all are very proud of in the end. And it's really obvious when you get it right and those three things are on stream, the client, the architect and the builder, you get a fantastic result.